Let's
Did you pat
grow
her
from
down?
this. Yes.
So she's wearing clothes, you patted her down, you couldn't find the ring?
I even bought a metal detector.
Well, where do you think she was hiding it?
I thought she either swallowed it, put it up inside of her, or she had it hidden somewhere else.
Okay.
I knew she had it. And she was disrespecting me and mocking me the whole time.
What began as a desperate demand for a simple ring spiraled into a week of unimaginable horror. On February 14th, 2025, 16-year-old Miranda Corsette met Steven Gress for the first time. She stayed at his apartment for a few hours, talked with him, and came home safely the same evening. Nothing seemed unusual to her grandmother at the time. The next day, on February 15th, Miranda told her family she was stepping out again. According to digital records, she messaged Steven and agreed to meet him one more time. That was the last day her family saw her alive. When she didn't return, her grandmother tried calling her repeatedly. Days passed with no contact. On February 24th, after a week of silence, she officially reported Miranda missing. For nearly 2 weeks, no one knew where she went. Her phone went silent, her messages stopped, and her family's calls rang unanswered. When police finally discovered what happened inside a small duplex on 27th Avenue North, even seasoned detectives said they had never seen cruelty like this. Miranda was a teenage mother from Gulfport. She lived with her grandmother and cared for her 11-month-old baby. Like many young people her age, Miranda used social apps to talk, explore, and escape. That's how she met Steven Gress, 35, a man twice her age, with a long criminal record and a history of violence. They connected on an app meant for adults, a fact that would later shock detectives. Steven claimed it was Grindr, a dating platform usually used by men seeking men. In Steven's words, she told me she was 20 at first, then later said she was 16, but her age didn't mean anything to me. That single line would come to define his interrogation.
This girl was never supposed to be. So I met her off the Grindr app, which is like a gay hookup site. And I don't know what a 16-year-old girl is doing on an adult hookup site. I guess it's irrelevant. She told me she was 20 at first, and then later came out afterwards that she was 16, which really had it didn't mean anything to me. Her age meant nothing. There's one thing that she did to me, and that was just one thing I was trying to resolve. She stole a gold ring of mine. What about overdoses? That must be Michelle's way of trying to cover her part up in something, because there was no overdose in any. There was nothing like that was involved. So I've picked the girl up. The date I'm not certain. All this is very recently within the last month. Okay, so I picked the girl up for a hookup on the Grindr app. Her name was Miranda on there.
You know when about that might have been?
I mean, everything's on the cell phone. If you can pull up cell phone information, like everything you want's on the cell phone. Is under
On your cell phone?
On my cell phone, you can find it all. Yes, sir.
Okay, well, hold on a second. So her name was Randa?
Her name was Miranda. But she went by, her profile name was Randa.
Randa.
Right.
Okay. And that's on Grindr.
Right.
Okay. And we'll be able to see this on your phone?
Yes, sir.
What's the passcode for your phone?
It's just a Z. Do a Z.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that phone is no longer here. I spazzed out after what happened. You know what I'm saying? I'll take you through the whole thing of what happened. You can just see it.
Let's go. So you met Randa.
Right, on the Grindr app.
Okay. Wait, you don't know what day that was, though?
It was, I want to say it was a Sunday. It was all right. So it was a Sunday that this happened. And then I seen her the 2 days prior to that, I seen her for the first time. I picked her up, we went home, hung out, I dropped her back off. It was fine. Nothing, no issues.
Investigators traced their first contact to early February. Miranda visited Steven's home once, stayed a few hours, and went back safely. 2 days later, she returned, and that decision sealed her fate. According to cell tower records, Steven picked her up from near her grandmother's home on 58th Street South. He drove her to his downstairs apartment, a converted living room with boarded windows and heavy curtains. It was supposed to be just another visit, but that night, Steven claimed something went missing. A gold ring with deep sentimental value. That ring, he insisted, became the reason for everything that followed.
You have the right to remain silent. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to talk to a lawyer or have him or her present with you while you're being questioned. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you understand each of these rights that I just explained to you?
Yes, sir.
And having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, I'm here for you.
This was never supposed to happen. Never was supposed to happen.
What wasn't supposed to happen?
This girl was never supposed to be in this situation. This girl was never supposed to be.
His voice was calm, almost relieved. He wasn't denying what happened. He was rationalizing it. Steven told detectives that after Miranda arrived, they ate, talked, and watched videos. But soon, he realized the ring he cherished was missing.
So, in the process of me ordering food for her, my ring comes up missing. It was a little bit too big for my pinky, so it could slide off if whatever, it could just slide off. And I remember when I went to get off the bed, I supported my weight on the bed to go get the doors for the food, and that's where my ring slid off. My ring slid off on the bed.
Right.
So as I'm eating my food, I'm realizing my ring's not on my finger. So I'm like, I search the whole immediate area. My ring's not there. Miranda stole my ring. Miranda stole my ring.
Instead of letting her leave, he locked the door and began searching. He accused Miranda of stealing it, a claim that would spiral into one of Florida's most disturbing cases of captivity and torture. By the time detectives entered Steven's home weeks later, the scene told the story he tried to hide. There were burn marks on the furniture, stains on the floor, and cleaning chemicals still open in the sink. In the bathroom's drain, forensic analysts found traces of human tissue, later confirmed to be Miranda's. Every surface of that house glowed under luminol, but during interrogation, Steve spoke as if he was the victim.
Like, I really tried everything I could possibly do to get my ring back.
Like what?
Like, pleading with her, telling her, man, like, this stuff is important to me. I just got out of prison for doing 13 years. I've just started having my own stuff for myself. This stuff means something to me, man. I just started having my own shit. It means something to me. I was not willing to take a loss on my ring when she stole it, and you can damn well give it back to me. And I'm telling her, like, please, let's use this as a learning experience. Let's
Did you
grow
pat her
from
down?
this. Yes.
So she's wearing clothes, you patted her down, you couldn't find the ring?
I even bought a metal detector.
Well, where do you think she was hiding it?
I thought she either swallowed it or put it up inside of her, or she had it hidden somewhere else.
That plea became his justification, not remorse. Over the next few days, the situation inside that small apartment turned into something out of a nightmare. What began as an argument over a missing ring escalated into cruelty that defied explanation. Steven later admitted he refused to let Miranda leave. He said he just wanted his ring back. But those words became meaningless when investigators uncovered what actually happened behind those locked doors. He called his girlfriend, Michelle Brandeis, to help. He wanted her there because maybe a woman could talk sense into Miranda. But instead of helping, Michelle joined in. From that moment on, Miranda's world was reduced to one thing: pain. Detectives later learned there was more to the ring than Steven admitted. A third witness, a woman who often stayed at the apartment, told investigators that Michelle had taken the ring herself out of jealousy. She believed Miranda threatened Michelle. She believed Michelle wanted Steven to turn against her. According to her statement, Michelle later admitted to finding the ring in Steven's car after Miranda was already dead. This meant Miranda was tortured over an item she never touched. This same witness told detectives she saw parts of the abuse. She said Steven asked Michelle to help teach Miranda a lesson, and Michelle joined willingly. She saw Miranda, injured and terrified, but didn't intervene. After Miranda died, she traveled with Steven and Michelle to help move and dispose of the body. Her cooperation later reveals details Steven and Michelle never intended to share. When police later searched the apartment, they found a torch lighter, a leather belt, and a blood-stained towel. Forensic analysts confirmed multiple burn marks on the mattress, along with blood from both Miranda and Steven. The walls were scrubbed so hard that pieces of paint had peeled away. Detectives listening to that statement knew what came next was not an accident. It was torture.
How did you keep her from leaving?
I just told her that she couldn't leave. I didn't restrain her. I didn't do anything to her. I just said, hey man, just please give me my ring back. You know what I'm saying?
But she wasn't free to get up and walk out the
I
door.
mean, if she would have tried, I don't know if I would have stopped her or not. Everything was bravado at this point in time. It's like I'm telling her and I'm hoping that I'm able to just scare her into giving me my ring back.
He said it without hesitation. No remorse, no awareness of what he had just confessed to. To him, it was logical, as if his right to a piece of jewelry justified everything he did to a teenage girl begging to go home. Miranda was trapped inside for nearly a week. In that time, Steven and Michelle beat her, burned her, and humiliated her.
Were you beating her?
I lumped her up, yes. I hit her at
What do
first.
you mean you lumped her up?
So at first, it took me a while before I put my hands on her.
Court documents later showed she was beaten every single day, burned with a torch, hit with belts and objects. Detectives also believe she was sexually assaulted, a detail supported by graphic photos Steven took of Miranda and sent to several people, including his own mother. Those recipients saw her bruised, naked, swollen, and barely conscious. Yet none of them called the police immediately. Detectives believe she tried to escape more than once, but every attempt was met with more violence. Neighbors later said they heard screams, sharp, terrified cries that echoed through the night, but no one called the police. Some thought it was a domestic argument. Others just didn't want to get involved. As the days passed, Miranda's body began to fail. She had broken ribs, severe bruising, burns, and deep wounds from repeated hits.
And she was disrespecting me and mocking me the whole time. Miranda is, to me.
Miranda is.
Yeah, like I couldn't fathom, why would you steal
What
somebody?
was she doing to mock you?
She did like this. She said she got it from her grandma. And she said she'd be like, I'd be like, man, please give me my ring, please, man, please. She'd be like, she'll just do like this to me, like this. She went this. She'll like this.
Wait, you mean like she might have been shaking in fear?
No.
Because that's what you look like when you do that to
Right.
me.
But she
When I think of a 16-year-old girl shaking like
it's
that,
not
that's fear.
Michelle would be whispering to her, and I'd be like, why are you guys whispering? What are you trying to hide from me?
During the interrogation, Steven repeatedly painted himself as a man pushed too far. He said Miranda mocked him, that she laughed and taunted him by pretending not to know where the ring was. But investigators believe this was his way of shifting blame. It's a psychological pattern detectives have seen before. When an abuser's control is challenged, the rage becomes all-consuming. In Steven's mind, Miranda wasn't a child. She was a thief who deserved to learn a lesson. That belief would end her life. Somewhere between February 20th and February 24th, things turned fatal. Detectives believe Miranda tried to fight back.
What was the purpose of that? I'm just
The purpose was to get sympathy for me. So I was trying to get them to buy me another ring, and then everything would just be good. I just wanted a ring. I didn't want to take a loss on the ring.
Your whole thing was, I want my ring back,
That's
no
it.
matter what it was.
Not no matter what, but I was going to go through and at least make an effort to try to get my shit back.
And why was that so sentimental to you?
Because I never had shit my whole life. I never had anything. I went to prison when I was 16 years old, and I got out when I was 27. So like I'm just starting to learn to live my life and have things of my own. And I don't think it's right for somebody to be able to come into your house and steal from you and be able to walk out of there with your shit.
Sort of like the shit you went to prison for.
There were signs of a struggle in the living room. Broken glass, blood on the floor, and a roll of plastic nearby. Then, according to Steven's confession, he used a billiard ball, forced it into her mouth, wrapped her head in plastic, and suffocated her. He claimed it was Michelle's idea. Michelle claimed it was his. Both tried to outlie each other, but both told the same horrifying ending. It didn't stop. By the time she realized what had happened, Miranda was gone. After Miranda's death, Steven and Michelle faced a new problem. what to do with the body. Instead of calling for help, they decided to destroy the evidence. They moved Miranda's body to Michelle's mother's home on Mallory Drive in Largo. According to the affidavit, Steven dismembered her body in the bathroom while Michelle prepared bags and cleaned afterward. The roommate was present for parts of this and helped gather supplies. As mentioned earlier, the bathroom drain later tested positive for human tissue belonging to Miranda. According to the affidavit, they dismembered her body using knives and a shower drain. They wrapped the parts in garbage bags and dumped them in a commercial dumpster roughly 40 miles away. On February 24th, the same day Miranda was reported missing, Steven, Michelle, and the roommate drove around with Miranda's remains in the trunk. They stopped at a Popeyes restaurant. They went to a mini golf course. They celebrated Michelle's birthday. Detectives later said this casual outing showed an indifference that was difficult to process. For days afterward, Steven stayed in the same apartment, sleeping a few feet away from the blood-stained carpet. He even invited a friend over, pretending nothing had happened. When asked why he didn't call the police, he said, "For nearly 2 weeks, Miranda was simply missing." Her grandmother filed multiple reports, but without new leads, police were stuck. Everything changed when a witness came forward. She was the same roommate who told detectives Steven had confessed that something bad happened to a girl at his house. That single statement reopened the case. Police executed a search warrant at Steven's home. Within hours, they found DNA, blood, and multiple tools used in dismemberment. Michelle's fingerprints were on the garbage bags, and Steven's DNA was on the plastic wrap.
She died on the 7th day. So she died, if Easter was, whatever day Easter is, you take that and
Easter or Valentine's?
Valentine's Day, I'm sorry. Valentine's Day. So March 14th is Valentine's Day? February 14th is Valentine's Day. So I think it would be fair to say that she probably passed away on the 21st-ish of February.
Even though detectives located the exact dumpster used in Ruskin, the contents had already been transported, compacted, or destroyed. Miranda's body remains were never found. To this day, her family has no physical remains to bury. But the evidence told a different story, one of methodical violence and deliberate concealment.
Is it true you used to take animals to the Skyway?
Yes,
What'd you do with them?
I would kill them.
Do you feel a need to kill them?
No,
Why do you do it then?
I was stressed out.
Does killing them give you stress relief?
Stressed out. And Michelle repeatedly they would be short on their end. They would threaten where I slept at. They just would constantly bicker and bitch about nothing to me all the time. Like I was the enemy to them.
So you would kill an animal.
I would kill an animal so I would not. It helped me to relieve my stress and my anger so I would not hurt them.
Where would you get the animals from?
Craigslist. People give away animals on Craigslist.
Any kind of animal?
Pretty much. Any, like a guinea pig or rabbit, dog, cat.
What do? You throw them off the Skyway when you're done with them?
The Skyway is another one of Michelle's things. I wouldn't take you to the Skyway. I wouldn't take you to the Skyway. I would say if you go to my house and do a what's the agent that they use to uncover blood, traces of blood?
Yeah.
If you put that shit in my house, the entire house might glow.
Because you killed that many animals in there?
Yes, sir.
Then what do you do with the
It goes
carcasses?
in the dumpster. So the Skyway thing is another one of Michelle's.
Has killing animals like that been something you've always done, or
No.
what is it?
It just recently started. From living.
How many animals do you think you killed?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say, man. A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like I'm a bad guy right now.
In one of the most chilling moments of his interview, Steven admitted he used to kill animals to relieve stress. For detectives, that statement shifted the case from senseless brutality to something darker, a pattern of escalating violence.
How many animals do you think you killed?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say, man. A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like I'm a bad guy right now. Like, it seems like I'm a bad guy.
I'm not,
I'm not a bad guy like that. Like, I've just been
it's not,
pushed.
it's not for me to
I
judge.
understand.
Okay?
That moment silenced the room. Even after hours of questioning, his voice stayed calm, detached, almost polite. To the officers in that room, it was the voice of someone who had long stopped seeing life as sacred. His obsession with control, combined with a fragile ego, turned his environment into a pressure chamber. Michelle, meanwhile, appeared submissive yet complicit, following Steven's lead, afraid to defy him, but never once calling for help. Her silence became her crime. Steven was not arrested for Miranda's murder immediately. On March 5th, he was taken into custody for pointing a harpoon gun at Michelle during a separate incident. While in jail for that offense, detectives finalized the murder charges. Michelle surrendered days later. A judge later ruled that Steven and Michelle would be tried separately. Prosecutors announced they would seek the death penalty for both. Both are charged with first-degree murder, kidnapping, and abuse of a corpse. As of now, they remain held without bond at the Pinellas County Jail. Their arraignment was scheduled for April 24, 2025, with pretrial hearings already underway. No trial date has been set yet. Both continue to plead not guilty.